Welcome back everybody to Hinterland and our Struggle is Real series. Ooh, the barge is coming in. Maybe they're coming to collect our logs that we sold. I don't know. Anyway, literally loaded back in where we left off. So this will be the last episode in August. I'm going to need to talk about a few things that I've changed just slightly. First of all, absolutely massive thank you to everyone for your comments and suggestions. Really fantastic comments from you guys, and also suggestions as well in regards to the cows and things like that. So thank you all for that. Awesome, very good response for the first episode of the series. I think it's going to be a good series. It's not going to be easy, but I think it's going to be quite a good series. Looking forward to it. Now, right, first of all, cows. What I'm going to do is definitely leave them there for now, because they bring the map to life a bit. It's a bit lonely here. All we've got is these people and these huts. They're not very friendly, they're not very sociable. But the cows, they seem happy enough. So we're going to leave them. Now, to be fair, I'm not even sure we would end up buying that plot. But if we do, I'm probably going to put some sort of poll up to see what your feedback is. Like I say, a lot of you guys have already given me some feedback on that, but it probably will be a case of, if we buy that plot of land, do we sell the cows and the cow barn to make it a bit harder, because then we've got to pay to replace the cow barn or put a cow barn down somewhere else and buy cows, or do we keep them? I think that only holds 25 cows anyway, so I would probably prefer to have a few more cows, if I'm honest, so we can get a bit more milk off them. Absolutely fantastic suggestion from Jason, so appreciate that, buddy. Really in-depth and creative idea for that, so that was quite something to read all that. But yeah, I probably will do some sort of poll, but like I say, we might not even buy that plot of land, so it might not affect us. So if need be, we'll just leave them. Right, now in terms of other things, I wasn't aware, or certainly should I say I forgot, because it's been a long time since, it's nearly a year I think since this map came out, so I couldn't remember much about my map tour. And as soon as someone mentioned it, I thought, oh yeah, that rings a bell now. Because, first of all, if we go down to the sort of help menu, OmaTana's put our own sort of help section in for this map, which is awesome. So, there it is. That's because I've got the Platinum Premium. It's there. So, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's a bit about using the bakery. Obviously, I said first episode, I removed that because you do start off owning that in all three modes. I didn't want that, it was going to be too easy. But this is a fantastic read if you're coming on the map. Tells you a bit more about some of the mods and things that are on here. So we've got some signs, a bit like the government subsidy signs. There's ways to take your money away with these weights and things like that. We can also create fields by painting them in. We're not going to be doing that because, again, a little bit too easy, but it does cost quite a bit of money. So, but we're not going to do that. We're going to create our own fields where we can. But the thing we're interested in is there, rapid plant growth. If you have seasons turned off, which I did for the first episode, there is a rapid plant growth. So that means, as it says there, crops can be harvested within 2 days. So you can harvest and reseed every 2 days. That is going to be far too easy for us. So I've abandoned that. And if I scroll up to here, I have turned seasons on. So we are playing with seasons. If I scroll up, we've got the crop calendar. Now, I'm hoping we might be able to put in certainly some wheat or barley somewhere along the line. If not, then we're probably going to be waiting to get round to March, April time. But we'll see how we get on. I have got the premium expansion installed, but I don't know if we'll be doing those crops because we're not going to really be able to afford the equipment. And I'm not going to do any leasing on here. I can't remember if I mentioned that first episode. No leasing at all. So we've got to buy everything because the struggle is real. Okay, so I think that is all I need to say. So we'll grab our tractor. Now we're going to need to make some more money. So I am going to head back over to our little forest area where we've already started chopping trees down. And I'm going to chop a few more down to make some more money basically, because we haven't got enough money to do anything. I think what we need to be aiming for next is get ourselves a tractor. It's got to be quite a cheap one. And some sort of mower, because we're going to be mowing up some of this grassland. We're going to need to pick it up somehow. I want to put it in a bunker silo, so that is all going to cost us money. It's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all. Right, so I'm not going to bore you with all this tree chopping. I will probably bring you back in when I feel like I've got enough money to do what I want to do next. And another reason why I've brought you in now is because I didn't want to just bring you in and I've chopped down a few trees and then go, oh, look at how much money I've got, because I didn't want you thinking, oh, have you just added that in or what? I've not going to be adding any money in or nothing like that. It's all going to be money that we are actually earning. I wouldn't do that. Oh, another thing I did, I think because it would be more fitting for the series, it was a good suggestion from Dust Bunny. I didn't even think about it myself. Instead of that chainsaw, I've sold that. I actually did make 10, we're playing with euros, did actually make 10 euros on it, because I sold the chainsaw for 210 and I got ourselves this little bow saw which cost 200. So I've made 10 euros along the way there, so not too bad. Let's give it a quick try out. I've not actually used this before. That's pretty awesome sound effects. There we go. So another tree down. Like I say, I will get cracking with chopping some of these up, because I don't want it just to be a series of me chopping trees down, but that is our only way to make money as of yet, until we sort of build ourselves up. So I'll bring you back in. We've got 3,910, and hopefully we're going to have a bit more money so we can buy some more equipment. So I will see you a little bit later. Okay, welcome back everybody. I think I've only cut 2 more down since we cut that one there. Yeah, I think that was the first one we cut. First episode, was it? Maybe? I think I went to that one. And I've done this one here and this one here. They weren't huge trees. So what we've got on the trailer there was actually this tree. So it gives you some idea of how big that tree was. Not massive. The first guy we cut down had to do 2 loads. So I included that one and what was left of that tree. So that was quite a big tree. I did make the mistake on this one of cutting it down, and it fell outside of our boundary, and I had the message coming up, you're not allowed to cut this tree. Now, a little tip, a lot of you will be aware of that. If that happens, if you grab a log, say, it doesn't matter what size really, but I grabbed one about that big, so I had it picked up, and I come this side of that tree, put it down on the floor, obviously while still holding it, so lower it down, I mean, to the floor, and push that way, it will move that great big long tree, which is pretty good. So that's kind of a little bit like having super strength, I guess, for console. Just a little tip there. Like I say, I know a lot of you will already know that, but we are up to 8,217, and this little load hopefully should add some more. probably another grand, I hope, fingers crossed. And I think that will be enough just to move us on to the next stage. What I am going to be a little bit worried about though is when we do move over into September, we're going to get hit with some interest from the loan we've got. So I'm hoping we've got enough to cover that. I'm not quite sure what the interest will be, but that will be interesting. Excuse the pun. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. I did get asked if I could put all the things that are turned on and things like that in the description, so I have added that to the first episode, and obviously it will be moved across to every episode after that. So things like telling you that crop destruction's on, blah blah blah. So if you want to know the rules, they will be in the description of the videos, like so, if you wish to. Right, I think the barge has come in again to get some of our logs, so it must be in demand somewhere, which is good for us. Let's turn that off and let's sell that. So what are we thinking? Another grand, hopefully. Wow, 1,669. That's awesome. Right, I think we're in position to buy a tractor. Our first tractor. I know you could technically say this is, but this more reminds me of like a rotavator. My dad, he's retired now, but he used to be a plant machinery fitter, etc. So he used to do a lot of lawnmowers, rotavators, so we were always getting them at the house. And yeah, that does remind me of a rotavator like that. Pretty cool. He once made us, going off cuff a bit here, he once made us as kids, I was very young then, he made us a really cool go-kart out of a petrol lawnmower engine, and I crashed it into the back door because I couldn't work out how to stop. Bit like my driving on this game really. But anyway, let's go to the shop. Hello there. I think we can say hello to them. Yeah, we can say hello to these people. Anyway, right, enough silliness. Small tractors. I am going for this fella. I've never used it. I just think it looks really weird and quirky. Look at this. I don't even know how to say that. The lizard Kashnik. I don't know. 5 grand. It is very odd looking. It does have a front lifter on it. I hope that is. Again, that looks very odd as well. Now, it's only 35 horsepower. But I'm hoping, because this map isn't that hilly, there's a few little spots here and there where the ground raises up. I'm hoping 35 is going to be okay for us. It's more going to be the implements that we buy that go with this. So we can raise it to 70 horsepower, which would be fantastic, but that is another 10 grand. And as for the colours, yeah, we're not going to be changing that. That's a grand just to change the main colour, and 100. We're going to leave it as is, but look at that. I have had a little go in this off camera. I did think it was going to be articulated because it looks like it, but it's not. But we're going to buy that. That is going to be our first tractor, guys. So 5 grand. Now, what I want now is some form of mower. So, keeping the costs down, it's going to take us longer. I would eventually like to get these guys, but they are a little bit out of our reach. I know we could have chopped down another couple of trees, but I think we're going to go for this little RC mower. It's a grand. Now, it says 1,200 there, but we've got the option to go new, which is going to cost that, or used. So it makes it a lot more tatty for us. And that knocks off 200. And that is going to be a grand. It's only 2 meters wide, so not very big at all. There it is. Look at it. I just love the look of it. It looks so quirky. And there is our battered, beat up mower, but we need to watch our pennies. And this sounds pretty awesome as well, actually. Right, let's hook up to that. I don't think we're going to need a weight. There we go. I think we're good to go. I don't really want to be buying a weight just yet. If we have to, we have got a little bit of money, we could just get a cheap one. Now what we're going to do, I think our first field, I mean, it would be nice to get all of the grass in our areas mowed up, but that isn't going to happen just yet because it's going to be a mammoth task otherwise. So I think our plot of land probably starts, looking at the mini map, around here and goes out, I think, roughly in line with the edge of that forestry area. It's right on that edge, I think. So I'm hoping let's just mow up all this area in front of the forestry area. I'm not going to go all the way up through there. We'll mow that up, and I think somewhere in and around there is going to be our first field. So let's put the mini map on. This is going to help us, I think, work out our boundaries roughly, because I want to make sure we can pick up the grass as much as we can. We'll try and get as close to that path as we can. Now this is going to take some time, even though it's not a massive area. We'll start the... No, that's not that. That's turning the tractor off. There we go. Look at that. That looks quite vicious. So we will stay away from that. We'll drop that down. And there we go. Now it does run, we're going 14 miles an hour, which is pretty good. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. But we need to then keep our eye on the mini map because of our boundaries. So we are literally going to go straight in front of that. Not too worried about getting any square edges. We're just quickly going to whiz round. But as you can see, it's not very wide at all. So we probably are going to need to... Right, hang on a sec. What's going on? What about if I do that? That would probably work better, wouldn't it? Right, we need to, I think, that looks like that's getting very close. I'm trying to work out where we are now. Right. Okay, that's interesting. Let me just check something, because I'm sure all of these trees are in our boundary. Yeah, they are. That must be very, very close. So I thought we could push out to there. Right, I'm not going to risk it. We will follow the line that's on the map. And we'll write on that line as well, because I don't want us not being able to pick up the grass. That will be a disaster. Oh, there we go, look. There we go. We must be right on that line there. Okay. Come back in. Where did we start? Over there somewhere. So we will go round and meet that. There we go, that worked out pretty good. So there's our boundary-ish. A little bit iffy there. Hopefully we'll be able to windrow that back in. Yeah, I guess that is right on that line, isn't it? That tree, that last tree. Whether we create a field that big, I don't know to start with, but we will see. But we're going to need to mow this up. Let's just grab that little bit there. There we go. So it's not very wide at all. I think it said 2 meters, didn't it? Which isn't bad. Roughly the same width as the tractor. But we've got to start somewhere. And then we do have all that grass over around there as well, so we've got plenty of that. We will need to be placing down a bunker silo at some point. Should have a cheap one of those already to pick from. Okay, we've got this little bit left to do. It didn't take too long actually, to be fair, because it's quite quick, 14 miles per hour. It's just the width really, but this will do us for now. I think we're probably in a position as well to be able to afford a windrower. So I think we'll get this windrowed up and then we'll leave it there for that episode, and then next episode will be into September, and we will need to pick up this grass and hopefully put it in some form of bunker silo. So there's a couple of little tufts here and there that I've missed, but I'm not gonna worry too much. I got the worst ones that were a bit bigger, worthwhile probably. And as of yet, we haven't really got anywhere to store any of our machinery or equipment. So again, all things we're going to need to consider going down the line. I'm just going to grab that bit there because it's right next to us. Right, so there we go. I think we will probably, well, we'll put this mower just here for now, and then we'll head on over to the shop. What's the inside look like? Ooh, almost looks like leather. Nice. That's a pretty cool looking tractor though. Very good. Yeah, we'll go and grab a windrower. Like I say, we'll get that windrowed up. I don't think that will take too long for the one that I've got in mind. And then we will leave it there for that episode. We probably will need to cut a couple more trees down, and I think it's going to be like that for a little while until we start making decent money, because we're going to need to do that every now and then to be able to afford things. So windrowers, I was thinking, originally I was thinking this guy, 2 grand, 3.5, but I'm thinking this guy. It's on the cusp for our horsepower for our tractor, but I think it will absolutely be fine. And That is 6.5 meters wide, so we'll buy that for 1,300. There it is. That should make that job a little bit easier and quicker. So off we go. I don't think that's not going to be, well, it's not going to be too bad if we made that as a field. It's pretty big, isn't it? So, right, what I want to do is definitely make sure we can grab have I lowered that? No, I haven't. Right, that's my fault. Let's lower that there then. I want to be able to grab that piece that's just outside our boundary. I'm hoping it's going to rake it over. That's leaving a nice swath for us. Yes, good, good. We should be okay for that. And we should be right this end because we own all that to our right. Well, not all that, but we own enough to not worry about the boundary that side. The other end, that's the end we're going to need to be careful of as well. But once we've done the outside, we can just go up and down or whatever, keep going round and round. Maybe a little bit dizzy going round and round when we were doing the mowing, but it needed to be done. I kind of switched it up a little bit. Alright, let's get this so that grabs all that in and then meets up with that. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. So that's good that we've got that sort of working width already so cheaply. Happy with that. And that's how it's going to be for a while. But this is working very well. So if we end this episode on roughly 2.5 grand, that should be plenty to cover our fees for the loan. So, oh, there's a tree stump there. I'm not too worried about tree stumps. I'm probably not going to be doing much with the areas where we chop the trees down because obviously we've got all the map to play with. I know obviously we've got to buy those plots of land, but we could possibly further down the line replant trees if it will allow us. I don't think there's a huge amount of trees on here. Don't think it's as chock-a-block as some maps. But I'm talking a lot further down the line. And we might not even need to chop trees down then to make money. We could be on to other things. But obviously we're going to need a loading wagon or something to pick this up. Oh, I'll leave that bit. We'll just grab that later. That's going to be more expense. So we are definitely going to be tree felling for a little while yet. That already looks quite empty over there where we've chopped just 4 trees down. I always feel bad for chopping the trees down, but it's got to be done, hasn't it? We've got to make money in the game. We've got to start somewhere. And I guess it's fair enough if you're replacing the trees. Which hopefully we will be. all of that grass over that side is ours, so that's going to take quite a while with that mower. It could be a case of just mowing up the areas that we're going to sort of create fields in to start with, if that makes sense. And then once we have cleared this area, we can then look at marking out and putting a field in. Then we need to look into cedars. It's just so much to think about. But if we take one step at a time each episode, that's the best way, I think. Let's not try and get ahead of ourselves too much, too quickly. Otherwise we're going to be asking for trouble. I think that should be a fair amount of grass, or, you know, turning into silage off of this. Be happy with that. Lift that up there, that'll be fine. And then just this little bit, I think we'll carry on that sort of angle. Oh, that's alright, that's not a problem. I mean, we could always plant grass back down here. That will grow quite quick. We can then keep mowing it, get a better yield off of it. But like I said, first episode, we are going to struggle to be able to lime, fertilise, things like that straight off the bat. I mean, that's a point really. We're going to need to lime this new field, aren't we? Right, okay. So definitely will be chopping trees, I mean. We're not going to be chopping, I can't even say it, chopping trees. Okay, I'm going to stop talking because we're almost done. Those little bits we can just run over later. There we go. I think we're going to leave that episode there, people. Decent progress again. We've got a nice area marked out. We've got some grass ready to be picked up and turned into silage. That'd be pretty good. So, happy days. We're moving forward. And we've got our first tractor. The little beast. Look at it. It says 4x4 on it as well. Wow. Awesome. I hope you have enjoyed it, guys. If you have, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That would be fantastic. And don't forget to smash that bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.